Hello, Mr. Melo here, your online math teacher, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing my video series on TI tips. And in particular, we are going to look at how to find local maximum and minimums of functions using the TI-84 calculator. And to show you, I'm going to use my TI-84 emulator up here. Now, if you find this video helpful, like, subscribe, and let's get going. So, typically, you're going to be using a TI-84 or 83 or any graphing calculator to find local maximums, minimums, when you have some sort of function that's more complicated than you know how to deal with algebraically. So an example of that is this function f that I have right here. It's a fifth degree polynomial, but the coefficients of each term are definitely pretty weird, so we don't know what that really looks like off the top of our head. So what you can do is you can open up the equation editor on your calculator. So this y is equal to button. And what you can do is you can enter in the equation that you want here. So I'm going to move to the side so it doesn't get in my way. And I entered it in now. So I've entered in my function here. And we can kind of see the picture already down the bottom. But I'm going to hit graph to actually see our calculator trace it out. Now, when you're going to do these problems, you're going to want to adjust the window so you can get a good picture of the features that you're interested in. So we're really interested in this area kind of around 0 because that's where the interesting stuff is going on with our function. So I'm going to change the window by hitting the window button. And I'm going to see what happens if I let x go from -5 to 5. And then I'm going to go back to graph. And if we do this, we get a nice tighter picture around what we want. So the question I had for us here was, can we find our local maximums and minimums with our graphing calculator? The answer is yes. So to be able to find these, you're going to need to use the calc menu. So it's the little blue word right above your trace button. So to get there, we hit second, and then we can hit the trace button. And it gives you a bunch of options. One of them is minimum, one is maximum. So let's start with maximum. So scroll down, hit enter, or just press 4. And then it's going to prompt you. It says left bound. So you're going to use the arrow pad to scroll to the left of where the maximum is occurring. So I'm just to the left of it now. Now I'm going to hit enter. Now it's asking for a right bound, and I'm going to scroll just to the right of it. Now, you don't want to be too far away from it, especially if there's more than one local maximum. You want to be tight around it. But I'll hit enter again, and now it says guess. And that's not asking you to type something in to guess. It's asking, do you want it to guess the maximum based on the left bound and right bound you just entered for? And you do, so you're going to hit enter again. And our calculator then estimates it. So it estimates that our maximum occurs at the coordinates 1.718 comma 3.553, and that's just me rounding it to 3 decimals because that's how I have my students do it. So the calculator gets a good estimate. The values aren't always exact. Sometimes you'll notice that you'll have something like 1.999999 repeating or something like that, and that's just the algorithm your calculator is using to get it. It really just means 2 in that instance, but you'll know what that is. So, but usually if you round to 3 decimals, you don't have any issues that you'll round to the actual value you want. So that was finding the maximum. The minimum is the same process that we just went through. We got to go back to that calc menu, so I'm going to hit second, then trace, and now I'm going to scroll down to minimum, or I'm just going to type 3 because that's what minimum is. So I just type 3 here. And again, it's going to give you the same instructions. It asks for a left bound. So we're going to scroll over just to the left of our minimum. Again, you don't want to be too far away from where it's located, especially if you have more than one local minimum or maximum. You'll definitely get some errors if you're not careful. So just make sure you're close to it. Then again, enter for right bound and ask to guess, enter once again, and then it makes our guess, and it estimates that the minimum's occurring at the point 1.651 comma 0.9 or negative 0.985 when I'm rounding both those coordinates to 3 decimals. So that's all it is to find your local minimums and maximums in your graphing calculator. Again, just make sure you're going in a tight interval around it. If you don't do a tight enough interval, you might run into mistake, but if you do that, you'll have no issues. So I hope you found this video helpful. Hit the like button if you did, and have an awesome day.